Hello again. I'm Braddock Supervisor John Cook. Welcome back to Braddock Neighborhood News, the program I am using to provide you with information on issues facing our community and ideas on how we can strengthen our neighborhoods. It's that time of year again, back to school. Along with the return of our kids to the classroom comes a need for volunteers to help enrich their education. This month, I am joined by the Woodson High School Director of Student Services, Dr. Carlin Floyd, Mantua Elementary School's Volunteer Coordinator, Teresa Lemaire, and the President of the Woodson PTSO, Monica Cameron. They will be telling us about the many ways to volunteer and become involved in our schools, whether or not you are the parent of a student. I want to thank you all for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
So let's talk a little bit about what you all do, because there's a lot going on in our schools and with our parents. And Carlin, you work at Woodson. You're the Director of Student Services, and that's got to be a big job.
It's a huge job, especially right now. I'm scheduling almost 2,400 of our students into classes for next year, so it is a big job. I work with our school counselors, our social workers and psychologists on mental health and college and career readiness, and we work alongside of our PTSO very closely as we help to prepare our students for that next phase of life after high school, whether it be college or career or jobs or military. So it's an exciting time in life.
And that was a great segue to our PTSO, as opposed to PTSA. So let's talk about why the letters changed.
Thank you.
And Monica, tell us a little bit about all that you do at the PTSO.
Well, at the PTSO, we are essentially, we help support the school by various activities, volunteering, booster support. We do parent education events. We have grant programs that support the teachers and students and their activities. We do all kinds of coordination, and we're specifically a point for volunteer coordination. And so we are always busy, and we're already starting to gear up.
And that busyness goes all the way down to the elementary school level. And Teresa, you're at Mantua, and you're the volunteer coordinator. So that sounds like a big deal. And I know a lot of parents who want to help out, especially as their kids enter kindergarten, first grade. So tell us about that.
So it's basically my job to coordinate the school-wide activities and in the classroom volunteerism. And so we have it's two separate chunks all under one. So we go from room parents to copy parent to Tuesday folder stuffer to carnival coordinators or library book shelvers. And there are probably about 40 to 50 jobs listed, plus what you can choose to do on your own by talking to your volunteer coordinator or your PTA president or the teacher or the principal. And that's
40 or 50 jobs just in one elementary school in one part of the county. So that's a tremendous amount of work, and it's a great benefit to our classroom teachers to have that help. I can't see how they could possibly teach if they had to do all of the work that our parent volunteers are helping them to do.
It's really true, and I always say if I can spend 3 hours copying for a teacher, that's 3 hours that they can spend doing something way more important than running off copies.
Right, and that continues on into high school, but I think in a little different way. So tell us about what parents are doing through the PTSO at Woodson.
Well, the way that we get the parents involved is right from the day one, especially, and I have to say that encouraging parent volunteers right when they hit that school, it's so important in the orientation. So when we talk in kindergarten, we hit them at we encourage them to volunteer at their orientation, because they're nervous and they want to know how they can be involved, and so we get them enthused about all the exciting opportunities that they can do in the classroom and how they can really make an impactful and just contribution to their kids' education. And but at the high school, it's the same thing. When we have nervous first-time freshman parents there, we go in there and we just get them excited about the experience that their kids are going to have, and that we introduce them to and the different ways that they can contribute to that, whether it's an athletics booster, whether it is on the PTSO, fundraising, event planning, hospitality is a great way to, I mean, everybody, there's something for everybody, and I think that's the biggest outreach we can say and to recruit volunteers, because everybody has a gift of something and a talent of something, and that's where we really need to just be very creative on our volunteer recruiting and just say there's something that you can give by way of your talents or your time or your money, and we just have to find out what a good match is for high school parents, especially when most are incredibly busy.
Right. Carlin, tell us a little bit about how you weave our parent volunteers into the fabric of the school, because they really are critical components.
They absolutely are, and we still, at the high school level, even still today, we still need parent volunteers in the library to help shelve books. We have parent volunteers who are in the Career Center, who do a lot with helping us find scholarships for students. I've had a number of students who have diligently applied for scholarship after scholarship after scholarship, because there are millions of dollars in our country that go unclaimed every year because people do not apply for scholarships. And when students apply, the parents are there to help them. They're there to help find scholarships that are appropriate for them, and they also they go out and they seek different scholarships so that they can bring it to the students, and they send out newsletters. They write newsletters for us. And it's exciting to see the students earn the scholarships and even have all their college paid for through the scholarships, which the parents have been an integral part in, our parent volunteers, in finding those scholarships. Helping students do research on the internet. Many of our students who do want to go to college and may be going to college for the first time in their family, our parent volunteers are able to help them navigate a lot of that. They're able to use their experiences with their own students in college searching or career searching, or a lot of times the military families who will come in and help students find their career in the military. It's a tremendous help, because that experience, they bring a different perspective to our students in that college and career search. And every year, every high school in our county does a career fair, and Woodson does one, and we love having the community participate, and we always do newsletter outreaches in the local, the Burke Connections and the different connection newspapers, and asking for volunteers, and it's a great way for our community members who are retired to come and be involved, to share what they did in their career, what you needed in your career, and so that kids can become interested and see what else is out there. You know, most of our students know about marine biology. We all love dolphins, and we want to swim with dolphins and pet them, and that's cool. But you don't necessarily know what chemical engineers do, or what some of our government employees do, and computer intel and such. So it's a benefit to have the community involved, even if you're not a parent at the school.
So somebody maybe not familiar with the schools listening in might think, well, wait a minute, why do you need parents? Why don't you just have employees doing all of these things? And we know the answer to that, but let's talk about that.
There is only 24 hours in a day. We cannot do all of this on our own. No,
I mean, it would be dozens and dozens and dozens of paid positions.
It would be
at millions of dollars of expense. To the
absolutely, especially at the elementary level. The amount of work that parents do for elementary teachers and staff is a true yeoman's work, and even at the high school, to be able to run a lot of our activities, to be able to run our all-night graduation party, all-night grad party, it takes hundreds of volunteer hours and just a tremendous effort by all of our parents and everybody. If you can pitch in some way or another, there is always a place for you to pitch in.
And you raised an interesting point in your prior answer, and you talked about all the different types of knowledge and skills that parents have. And one of the real benefits we have in Fairfax County is our people, our population is very diverse, very educated, have done just a wealth of things, and bring so much into a school. When parents come in, they're bringing with them not just a body ready to help, but a lot of knowledge and experience. And tell us about how that benefits all of our students.
All of our students are looking for that next step. They are looking for, where do I want to go in my future, and who do I want to be? And the interactions that they can have with a variety of adults, not just the 7 teachers that they have during the day, but to be able to interact with people who have done and been to a variety of places and worked in a variety of places, visited different countries and even different states. We have many students who haven't even been out of the state, but others who have traveled the globe. And those experiences bring, it opens our students' minds. And being able to open their minds allows them to think further than just what is right in front of them.
And our PTSO, you do so many things between boosters, PTSO, all the different support, the organized events. Tell us all the different ways that you're benefiting the student body by by parent volunteering.
Oh gosh, let me count the ways. There are just every aspect of activities, boosters, clubs. It requires logistics. It requires parents to, operate, the snack bar. It requires carpools, bake sales, just any type of event requires volunteers. And so it's an enormous undertaking, especially when you're looking for leadership to help lead those events and plan those things. But again, parents are certainly more than happy to contribute in some way, and I really think that it's important for them to know that whatever they do, no matter how big or small the task, it's important, and it's important for their children to see them participate, because then it makes them feel prideful and important that your parent or your guardian are taking part in your education and that your experience
makes them feel that it's important. Right? When you're in the school and they see you doing things to help the teachers and to help the other kids, they realize that, and there's a sense of community, and they realize that you are invested in their education and you do feel like it's important and you want to support their teacher in any way. So I think that's a big piece of it for me, is having it where my kids know that I'm there, I'm still with them. They go off to school and I'm not just bye-bye, see you later. I still want to support the people that are supporting them, basically.
And one of the secrets that people who volunteer know is the benefit that you get as the volunteer. It's not just helping others, but people who volunteer their time, their efforts, their energy come away, I think, energized from the experience.
Oh, it's so true. And I was thinking about this on the way here today, that all of my best friends are through, Monica being one of them, are through volunteering. And basically it's a huge sense of community, and as a parent, it's important to know other parents that you can call if you want to ask a question or you want to chit-chat. And another good thing for our kids to see is us having friends and talking to other people, and that's where I've met everybody, is through volunteering. And you never know who you're going to come across in life that knows my name because it was out there in 25 emails, kind of thing. And
it's great to see with kids when you can see the benefit that they're getting from the work that you're doing. If it's the boosters and you're helping with the turf field, or you're working on a sports event, or the all-night grad party, or music, arts, you can see the students' direct benefit from your work.
We have a program at Mantua that every single child in kindergarten, first, and some of them in second, depending on their level, gets read to individually. So I might come in as a parent or a neighborhood person or whoever, and I have Tuesdays, and every Tuesday each of the 20 children comes out to me and reads to me a book at their level. So, and then I can give them feedback and help them through it. But I mean, how could you make a child feel even better than to spend that one-on-one time, and sometimes, most of the time in that case, not even your own child, but some of these kids go home and they don't necessarily have that opportunity. So it's something that they wouldn't get any other way.
I think that's right. The classroom experience, very important. Let's talk about that in the high school context. Do you have parents in the classroom in high school? Is it more activities?
No, and I think our children
it's that fear factor. I could see in your eyes, like, why would I do that? Right.
Yeah, the kids would be like, why are you here? Please leave.
Yeah. So it's different, and it's kind of what I wanted to get at. In the elementary schools, we have a lot of parents in the classroom helping out. That that effort shifts a bit into high school. Still need parents, but for slightly different things.
Definitely. And those things are a lot of collaboration between the school and the parent leaders and just parent volunteers. We're looking at how we can work best together to strengthen our school and are definitely to continue building our relationships. So we do a lot of collaboration, planning together, and it's so important. You want to go ahead?
Right. I think a lot of the parent volunteering at the high school level is around programs and activities. It's supporting more of that social, emotional, and the activity part of high school. Our teachers, we got the core academics down, but we need help building sets for theater. We need help driving kids around for band tag day. We need help selling, unloading the grapefruit and orange truck for band. We need help with the football and baseball and basketball and doing the concession stands and selling tickets and helping with just getting the kids to where they need to be with the materials that they need, and being able to support in a very supportive and non-threatening kind of underground way the students who don't necessarily have parents who are involved or who don't have the financial resources. Our parent volunteers are able to do carpools, like you had said, and be able to help kids be involved who might not otherwise be able to.
A lot of parents involved in athletics, concessions and others. Talk about those various opportunities.
Wow, they're enormous opportunities for activities. It's anything from working with the uniforms. Some of the uniforms have to come centrally and have to be cleaned or dry cleaned, to selling the concessions, to helping support students who might be struggling or families who might be struggling either emotionally or financially on the court, or in order to be able to play the sport. There is to be able to be role models there and to support the team, even to be a role model when the team's not necessarily doing so well, but to be able to be there and still cheer them on and be that positive point in their lives. So being able to support your kids through activities is a tremendous way to show that how much you do care and are able to be a part of their lives, to share in that.
And there's a lot of student organizations at Woodson and at all our high schools, and so many of them need and benefit from that parent involvement.
Absolutely. Even just there are county chess competitions, and our chess club might need parents to drive them there. There's regional math competitions on Saturday mornings. Again, we might need parents to drive them there or organize lunches for them. It's, the activities part, every student can belong in high school with respect to an activity, and there's always room for adding different activities. I was at a school once, a middle school, that added an anime club because anime was on the rise and everybody was excited about it and the kids wanted a club. We started an anime club because that's what the students wanted, and being able to do that for our students so that they feel connected to the school helps the students to thrive within high school.
And also in the PTSO, you do a fair amount of advocacy, so you're talking to parents about things that are going on in the schools and things that affect the schools.
Well, and that's a good point about a PTSO, because we are an organic, just a local organization. So what we do at our school is solely for our school.
Right.
And so we take care of our issues internally, and we do not answer to a national authority. And
but certainly, and I know on in Woodson, for example, when there are issues going on with the student body, the PTSO can help. You talk with the administration, and you can be a bridge with families. And,
absolutely.
And talk a little bit about that, because I think that's important for parents to know that there are other sort of organized parents out there to help.
Sure. Well, so we have our monthly meetings, and that is where we have our PT, our principal, and he will come and give us pretty much a state of the school address, and he'll just kind of talk to the parents very candidly and very honestly, and that's what we really appreciate, is having that time with him to understand what's going on and be aware what the issues are around our school, and that's when the parents, with that knowledge, we can help and collaborate to form solutions. And I think with some of the things that we've really been hit hard with over the last several years, we really have come to form a very tight bond now, because we know that we're all in it together, and there's just, we are the solution makers.
And Teresa, at the elementary school level, I think a lot of what our volunteers are doing is often helping with that transition into school, especially in kindergarten,
Absolutely.
but also things like ESL and students who are moving into the area. And maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
One of the things we have is, at Mantua in particular, I'm sure elsewhere as well, but is a lot of different cultures, a lot of different languages, and a lot of parents that are stay-at-homes, a lot of parents that are both parents working. We have it's all across the board. And so I think the key for us is, as a PTA, has been to try to reach everybody. And so as volunteer coordinator, my job has been, I feel, is to invite everyone. So you might be in this walk of life, but you can still contribute. Everybody can contribute, assuming they want to. And so I think a lot of people, they think they just can't because of what they can't get into the school. That's okay. You can do something via email, or I don't go on the computer. What can I do? You can come in and help during field day. That kind of support.
And it's not just parents. There are opportunities for other people in the community, seniors and others, to help in the schools too, and there's a big need for that.
Yeah, grandparents, uncles, aunts, college kids that come in. We have kids that come from the high school and the middle school after school to help. And then just there are some people in the community that are just excited to read or whatever it is, and they like to come in and do different things as well.
And Carlin, talk about that, how that can sort of supplement. I guess you get a bit of a different view there too.
We do, and one of my favorite days of the year is Veterans Day. And while we don't have Veterans Day off, a lot of us find that to be a positive, because we can invite community members in and people who are veterans in to tell their stories to the kids. And there is no greater resource for history than to be able to hear it live. And that is one of the most poignant opportunities for our students, to hear that from our community members. And so we reached out. There is a senior center nearby, and we reached out to them, and to just family members of students who come in and share that with us. And that's definitely one of my favorite times of the year. And it's certainly one of the best, I think, best experiences for our students. And that's just one example. Different community members come in for a variety of reasons. We love having community members in for Career Day. We have our community members who are graduates, are often in, who have played different sports or been in choir or band or orchestra or theater, and they still come back and support the boosters. And we have various community members who will volunteer in particular the plays, because they like to watch the plays, and so they'll come in and volunteer as a ticket taker and help out in that respect.
You mentioned senior centers. We have a lot of seniors who volunteer in our schools, and there's a lot of opportunities for them. And seniors might be watching and thinking, well, my kids are well out of school, but we encourage them to help as well.
Please, just call. You can always call the main number for the schools and ask to talk to their volunteer coordinators. If people want to come in and share their stories, particularly from a historical perspective, ask to speak with the administrator for social studies, and we have had many guest speakers in to different classes. And that also goes for, we've invited in several people who are in a variety of businesses and jobs based on the content area. And so it's very helpful to know who has what experiences out there and who might be working part-time, and be able to come in and share their wealth of knowledge around STEM or engineering. Or, we had a biophysicist come in last year, and we had a couple of nurses come in and talk, and there's nothing better for students than to have that real life experience.
We also had a concentration camp survivor come in and talk with our students, and really hit home, and really it was very enjoyable for.
It's a great point, because we have so many people in the community with so many experiences, right? You can share that firsthand, and especially seniors who have maybe experienced a lot in their life. That's
Absolutely.
an opportunity to kind of put that to the benefit of others. And so how do we volunteer? People are watching, they're ready to pick up the phone or
Come on
get
out.
on the computer. How should they reach out?
You can call the school. That's the easiest start. You can contact the school's PTA, PTSO, PTO, whatever it is, at that particular school and ask for their volunteer coordinator. I think you'll find that when you tell someone that you want to volunteer, they'll get you to where you to who you need to talk to pretty quickly. So I would just start at the school or the PTA. PTSO level.
Absolutely. And my direct number, if you want to come and volunteer at Woodson ever, is 703-503-4624. And I'm more than happy to direct any of our community members to an appropriate place within our school where their skill set could be best used.
And there you have it. There's an opportunity for everyone. I want to thank our guests for coming on the show today. It sounds like there are a multitude of ways to volunteer with your child's school and help improve their school experience. I hope you've enjoyed this segment of Braddock Neighborhood News. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or other needs, please contact my office at 703-425-9300 or email braddock@fairfaxcounty.gov. Tune in next month for another edition, and please remember to look for ways to volunteer. Your community needs you.